probably about 2011, 2012. We were just starting to come out of the massive recession. Prices were going up for a lot of commodities, whether it was gas, diesel prices, electricity costs were going up. And so school districts were being asked to try and see if we could be more efficient, more cost effective with these recurring expenses we had. So, our finance officer came to us and had been talking some with CMTA and started presenting to us this idea of a guaranteed performance bond, which was something we had honestly never had heard of before.
As Chief Operating Officer of Nelson County Schools, I was directly involved in the planning and the management of facility work in Nelson County. Our priority had been for some time the completion of Thomas Nelson High School, but before the building was complete, we had other issues arise in the district that became real problems and priorities as well. So we were faced with a decision: do we finish Thomas Nelson like we promised the community, or do we address this other need that's arisen that we felt like was extremely important to address? And it was at that point that we began considering the possibility of a guaranteed energy savings contract to help us meet the needs of our facilities in the district.
Tim Hawkinsmith contacted CMTA to discuss the situation at Cox's Creek Elementary School. The building was about 20 years old and the HVAC system was at the end of its life. Reliability issues were causing comfort complaints, poor indoor air quality, and excessive maintenance and repair costs.
We had a boiler and a chiller system that cooled and heated the building when it needed to. The insulation pipes had broken down. We were changing ceiling tiles every morning at 6 o'clock before class would start to make sure that we didn't have wet ceiling tiles or dripping water on kids. We literally had a maintenance guy on staff probably 4 out of the 8 hours every day fixing things. One of the biggest problems we had back then before we brought in CMTA was high humidity in classrooms, uncomfortable temperatures. Going into the heating season, it would either be too hot or it'd be way too cold. It was no adjustment to where people were satisfied.
It took some educating on our part as school board members to really understand what a performance bond meant. Because whenever we think about bonds as school board members, we typically think of construction bonds. And we think of renovation, building new buildings, and anytime we tap into those construction bonds, that diminishes the ability to do other construction projects. It took us some time to really understand that this was separate from construction bonds, that it would allow us to preserve that bonding capacity, but also at the same time allow us to do some needed energy efficiency upgrades.
CMTA took a holistic approach to tackle the needs identified on the facility plan. Nelson County Schools received about $7 million in upgrades, mostly consisting of 3 HVAC renovations and LED lighting upgrades across the entire district.
I'd always been very skeptical of the guaranteed energy savings contract process. I had met with probably all the companies that do business in Kentucky. I never felt like I got direct answers to my questions. Certainly nice people, didn't get direct answers to my questions though, and wasn't certainly comfortable making a recommendation to the superintendent and board. That changed when I met the folks at CMTA Energy Solutions, because I did get direct answers to questions.
Cox's Creek Elementary, since the project has been completed, we've got a better, more comfortable feeling school, a lot less complaints, and they're just, maybe when we had 20 or 30 a day, we're down to 1 or 2 a week, now, and most of that's comfort issues, adjusting a set point here or there, and it's very great that we can do that from my office and not have to send a guy out. So it's been a lot better. The people are not complaining anymore about high humidity or moisture issues. That they can teach the class all day long without worrying about, someone getting asthma or allergies from, the high humidity. So it's been a blessing to get the controls that we can see from our office or any school, and pull it up when people have complaints. So working with Adam Pierce at CMTA, every job we've ever done, he's always been there to answer questions. And here we are, 4 years later, and after this project, and he still answers the phone if I have questions about things here and there. And CMTA is not the type of company that walks away from you after you're done. They are there to make sure that things stay the way they were when you put them in,
It gave a little bit of skin in the game. For CMTA, they wanted to make sure, they were invested to make sure that this was going to be a successful partnership. And for us as a school district, we wanted to make sure it was successful as well, because we were spending lots of funds over a long period of time to end up improving the energy efficiency of the school district. And so we wanted to make sure it was successful as well. And I think the numbers actually indicate that. I've mentioned that over the last 6 years, there's been in excess of $1 million above and beyond the guaranteed energy savings each year. And over that 6 to 7 year period that we've done the guaranteed performance bonds, we've moved from, I have no idea where we were in the state compared to the other school districts as far as energy efficiency, but very quickly we moved into the top 5, and then we were 3, and then we were number 2, and then we moved into number 1 in the state for energy efficiency as far as our facilities across the district.
When our project was complete in Nelson County, we'd accomplished, I feel like, the following. We upgraded our buildings successfully. We limited the impact on our bonding capacity. We had improved the environment for our students and staff. Our maintenance folks now can focus on other things that we needed them to focus on and not put out fires all the time. And we had more money in our general fund to do things for students in our district and staff in our district. And we were allowed to do all that. We were able to accomplish all that through a relationship with CMTA that's really impacted Nelson County schools in a positive way.
It doesn't matter who the person is or the name behind it. CMTA is across the board. Everybody I've dealt with is always there to help.